Hello everyone and welcome to Ginger Prime. My name is Brian, and as a gamer, a father, and since pretty much the last time I checked, human, I'm busy. Life is busy, and that's just a fact. And that's why I wanted to make this guide for you here today. If you're checking out PSO2 for the first time or coming back after a while, this is going to be a guide to power leveling your way up to level cap without getting burned out along the way. The focus of this guide is how to maximize your time and enjoyment of Phantasy Star Online 2, and since this guide is actually going to cover a wide range of topics, be sure to check out the playhead of this video or the description for the timestamps for each section for whatever interests you the most. So the outline goes, part 1 is going to focusing on maximizing your XP through various buffs. Part 2 is going to focus in on your missions and client orders and how to maximize your client orders for maximum XP. And finally, part 3 is going to focus in on what content to grind at what different levels, what's going to give you the most bang for your buck when playing Phantasy Star Online 2. If you're new here and you're checking out this video, welcome to Ginger Prime. If you feel like with this guide I've earned your subscription, I hope that you do hit that subscribe button and come back for even more content, as well as check out the links in the description below to check out my podcast channel, Ginger Gaming Radio, for even more gaming content here on YouTube. But with that, let's go ahead and dive in and get you to level cap. Alright, so now it's time to maximize our XP. The first and most obvious, you're going to get these items just handed to you, but I'll also show you a couple places where you can purchase these items as well. First, let's focus in on the Tri Boost. This is going to be your most valuable buff because it's going to boost your experience gained, your Meseta earned, and your rare drop rates by 30 minutes. Now the percentage is going to vary, and you can find some of these items just handily in the shop. So if you go to like the Fresh Find shop, you can see I purchased a few today. You're going to see these and you're going to use Star Gems for these. Star Gems are going to be a currency you're earning naturally just by playing the game. You can also find certain XP boosts by just going to like player stores and more. There's lots of different ways to earn these. The game's going to hand these out through your missions. We'll cover that in the part 2 section, your different missions and your section there. But you can see I've got Tri Boost 150, Meseta earned, rare drop rate, EXP earned 75, and the percentage on these buffs will range. Here's the trick that you might not know. You can stack Tri Boost, Meseta earned, rare drop rate, and EXP earned. These are all separate buffs, and just using them again is just going to refresh the buff itself, but stacking them all together is going to maximize your buffs just in that category. If you want to go into your character info, you can see multiple different buffs that I have on my character right now, as well as the effect duration of what is remaining for them. So here, just to cover these, you can see my rare drop rates, my Meseta earned, my Tri Boost, and my EXP earned, and they've all got the timers and they're counting down. You can also see this photonic effect. This is from my Alliance headquarters, and I'll show you where to get that here in a second. You can also see my daily boost effect is currently at 40%, and it's a default Tri Boost of 40%, and it's going to count down every 24 hours, and after 24 hours, it's just going to lose 5% of its buff. And then you can see my premium effect by being subscribed is I get a baseline Tri Boost 50%, and then in this case, it's going to last 60 days, the duration of my subscription to this game. Now the game is completely free to play, and this is just one of the benefits of being subscribed outside the player shops and more. Now if you're part of an alliance, you can go into the different kind of block selector. If you haven't ever seen this, the green elevators on the left and the right will allow you to change blocks, but you want to go and say move to alliance headquarters. This is going to take you to the wonderful place where your alliance can hang out, decorate, and have a couple of options and even pick up some client orders as well. Do note that by traveling to the Alliance headquarters will drop you from your party, and you will have to reform when you get back out, back into your effective block, so to say. But we're going to go here and we're going to go to the tree, which you're going to select Receive Photon Effect. And in this case, you want to select EXP up. And as you level up your EXP, as you level up your photon, if you're like kind of an alliance leader, you can say give photon water. You're going to see how many points you have. You give it to them, and then you can say cultivate tree. And in this case, my next level boost is going to go up from there. My current level is at 6%. My next level will be at 7% EXP boost from that perspective. So honestly, there's really a lot of value in joining an alliance, so you should check that out. And if you're looking for an alliance and a ship to play on, Ship 2, we're open if you guys want to come hang out and join us, even if you're just using us for that sweet XP boost. Another buff that you might not be aware of that happens infrequently, but occasionally when you're playing the game, you'll hear about a concert that's coming up. If you attend the concert, you're going to also get another XP boost by just attending the concert itself. You can run up to the stage here that's in the center, and you can say watch the event and get a special camera angle if you wish, but by just being in the area, you should be able to get that concert boost. It's going to show kind of a little music note symbol to know that you have it. Also in the shopping area, you can talk to Tifris or Nisa here, and you can actually purchase with photons various XP boosters. So 25% times 5 and a 75% EX booster. Now these are also sellable on player shops, so you can just go to the store in the shop and see if there's anybody selling different XP boosts, and that way you can continue to feed yourself just additional XP as you're leveling up. Nisa here sells pretty much rare drop rate ups for X cubes, so just keep that in mind if you're looking for that as well. So earlier I showed you that my daily boost effect is a tri boost of 40%. How you manage this is, because the maximum cap on it is 50, is go to Rebecca here and go to main quests and then select recommended quests. Your first quest, in this case Underground Shafts, it's going to change every day, is going to rotate and allow you to fill that bar. Also pay attention here, because under your quest you'll see this little boost, EXP up. This is rare up as well, just FYI. But you'll see, and you want to look for items that have EXP boost. This is going to give you even more XP for killing monsters in that area. So if I select this and I just pick a difficulty, I'll say super hard, why not? And in this case, I'm going to then be brought to my client order. Now I've already done this, so what you would want to be looking for is any blue icons. If you want to know who this NPC is specifically, well, she happens to be Daily Order Officer Fina. If you talk to her and go to client orders, you're going to see the blue icon here. This means it's a part of your daily boost. I've already completed 2, so by just going ahead and completing those, I can raise it by 5% for each time. This basically means every day you can get up to 15% addition. Every day it's going to go down by 5. And I can see here I am now at the daily max of 50%. Because I'm premium, I can actually go up to 15 items in here. It's not going to go up beyond 50%, but it's going to have that cooldown effect, so I can miss a day or two without the need to push this all the way up to max. Again, this is another daily boost of a tri boost of 50%. And you can also see here, she's got more that I have in my inventory that I haven't completed. One of the things that's about client orders, and we'll cover it in detail, is you can use your LB or your RB, essentially your alt and over, and you can tab through the various different orders for the zones that they are a part of. If you're sitting here trying to manage your inventory of client orders, let's say you're not a premium member and you can only hold 20 client orders, what you're going to want to do is kind of focus on the zones that have the orders that you're working on. So just kind of tabbing over is going to show you the different zones that you have, and then obviously by default it's going to be display all. This can be quite overwhelming, especially if you're only dealing with 20 in your inventory. If you look at the different things of what is required and what is being rewarded here, you can see daily boost 5%, and I'm going to get some Meseta and I'm going to get some EXP. This is all going to play into kind of part 2, so I'm going to show you that in more detail in just a second. The final biggest buff that you might be missing out on is if you run this with a party of 4, you're going to get a 40% EXP boost. So if you go just to pick a mission and say search for parties in other blocks, you can start to see what parties have people in it. So if I was looking for a group, and I didn't want to shout for it, I can use this tool to find groups that are actively looking for other people to play with. Playing with more human beings equals more EXP for you. So either preform, get your squad together and go in at it with all 4 of you, or go and just, find a team through this feature. You can obviously take your NPCs with you. You're going to get a boost by having them with you regardless, especially just in time to clear, but you do get a little bit of an XP buff by having them as well. But it doesn't make up for the difference that real human beings add to your XP gain. All right, so now let's talk about your missions and your client orders in part 2 here. So if you go and you hit start and you go over to your ARCs missions, this is going to show you your main missions, and you can kind of take a look at them and you're going to see what you need to get done. So in this case, it wants me to clear an extreme quest. It's going to give me 100,000 EXP. You can complete these on any job. So I have actually already run, if I go to my daily missions, I've already run my daily missions as my level 75 hunter. However, I'm now on my level 54 ranger and I've completed all these. So if I just go down to say receive all rewards, I can say yes, and I am now level 55 and my sub job is leveling up as well. So I can now say receive next rewards because it's multiple pages. So I have done that, and now I've completed my daily missions and I've gotten that EXP boost from just running this on my hunter. So if you're actually trying to grind up multiple, classes, this is going to be very helpful for you. So you need to go look at essentially what are the requirements for getting these done. If I go look at my weeklies, one of my weeklies is just complete 10 daily orders. And with that, I'm going to get 605,000 Meseta and 80 EXP. Use the swap shop, another 80k XP. Take orders and make even more Meseta. If I earn essentially 200,000 Meseta from client orders from anybody, I'm going to get 240,000 experience and 100 Meseta. It's just like, here's some awesome stuff. And then the daily grind in this case is completing 50 daily missions. Obviously, every week these are going to reset. So you want to pay very close attention to this. Now, I showed and highlighted the different client orders because what you want to go is, like if I talk to Hans here, all these characters that have these little icons above their head are very valuable. Now, at some point, especially when you get past level 40, 50, 60, you're going to sit here and the EXP reward isn't really going to change all that much. You're going to find some with different, etc. But what you want to start to target, because especially that weekly Meseta grind for that 250, is you want to start seeing what actually rewards you the most Meseta so you can get that knocked out, because you're going to get way more experience overall that way. I mean, when you look at 20 versus 30k here, it's not, at the end of the day, it's not going to make all that much difference, but the Meseta adding up is going to play a huge role. So a new trial in the forest here, rewarding 2,000 and 30,000 is great. So again, if you're going to go focus in on grinding in different zones, you want to go look at the different and grab as many as you can. Now, because I'm premium, I can have up to 40 client orders. With the base, you only get 20. So that's why it's really efficient in terms of trying to manage these. So you don't want to go and try to grab all the client orders you can. You want to say, hey, okay, we're going to run Volcanic Caves. I want to make sure that I've got enough space for all 4 of these, so that way when I get these knocked out, I can turn them in, and it's going to overall benefit me in the long run, whether I'm playing every day or a couple times a week or, a couple times a month. It doesn't matter. You want to be able to, make sure that you jump in and use these effectively. And if you want to manage your client orders and see everything that you've got going on, if you go to start, basically where you found ARC's missions and your mission paths, you can pick on client orders. You can see everyone's client orders that you have, and then you can even filter these also down by the specific zone that you have them in. You can see that I've got a couple in different zones, and so I want to go and look through that. You can see here, as a part of Nightfall Province, I actually have a daily boost. This might drive me into pretty much what we're going to cover the next section with the content to grind from the different level ranges. But let's say I had the choice between, in this case, Floating City or Nightfall Province. I'd want to come in here, see what I've got available and I'm already holding on to, so that way I can go try to knock out as many client orders as possible to thus get me to where I need to go. You can also see this client order rewards a lot of Meseta. So obviously completing your daily orders overall is just going to keep and ultimately be very, very rewarding for you. All right, so now let's talk about part 3. What kind of content do you want to be focusing in on? When you first start the game, honestly, I would recommend focusing in on main quests and on expeditions. Really just kind of working your way down the list. Again, pay attention to the different expedition and what are the bonuses that are going to be rewarded for it. And then obviously selecting an appropriate difficulty. If you're running with 4 of your friends, you can try to push that difficulty up as far as you can go, because that's just going to make it more fun and challenging and interesting to you, keeping it fresh. Because if it's just kind of like you're just rolling on everything, it might not necessarily be that fun the 3rd time or the 4th time or the 5th time. The first time, it always feels good to be overpowered. And you might be wondering, does this game get more challenging down the road? And the answer is yes. Yes, it does. So just work your way down, unlocking all of the different zones. That's step A. Getting to level 40 really won't be that difficult, especially if you utilize your buffs and you're playing with people. This is going to help take you all the way there, doing your client orders, talking with Alfie, and talking to Coffee, who has the daily orders that are going to essentially unlock your difficulty increases, your sub-palette expansions, your subclass permit, and more. Make sure you're always checking out what she's got for you, because eventually you're going to start seeing these new mission trainings. This is going to start rewarding you with advanced capsules. If I go just pull up my inventory, I'll go ahead and show you what these look like. So here you can see I've got advanced capsule A, B, C, and then you can see I have D, E, and F as well. We're going to talk about and focus in on A, B, and C's, because this is really where the money is made, B, how you bake the bread, and more. So once you talk to Coffee and you get your first advanced capsules, you want to go talk to Rebecca, and this is how you go to subquest and then advanced quest to kick them off. I'm going to go ahead and just fire up the forest, and what we're going to say here is stick with very hard. You might be tempted to jump into super hard. For the time that you're going to spend, it is much more efficient to run very hard. VHAQs. You might see those shouted out in chat. Anybody up for some VHAQs? And the reason is that for your time, especially when you utilize all your buffs, which are on a timer, you can go and knock out very hard much faster. And the difference in EXP is negligible. Where you could spend 15 minutes on a very hard, 20 minutes, you could spend 30 or 40 or 50 minutes on a super hard, and it could end up being a little bit more frustrating. So you want to try to maximize that. You're going to get so much EXP from very hard that I cannot at this moment recommend super hard unless you start diving into urgent quests, which are on a timer and you won't see those all the time. So I would prioritize urgent quests and then advanced quest, especially once you hit level 40, and that's really where they unlock. So let me just go ahead and accept quest here. And with the quest accepted as a single player, just for demo purposes, I would usually try to jump in with another party just to maximize my EXP. It's going to take me to the camp ship, and this is where all the fun begins. Now, in my other guides, I've talked about making sure you always get kind of a potion to boost, get a power drink. I'm not going to do that here because I'm actually not going to run the advanced quest as part of this guide. If you don't have enough, capsules, you can actually come to the store here on the ship and buy them for yourselves. Now, if we go take a look at the price, they're not cheap. 50,000 for an A, 60,000 for a B, 70,000 for a C, and it's going to cap out at C. D, E's, and F's are going to be 100% really for endgame stuff at level 75. Focus in on A, B, and C. Ideally, you're not going to have to purchase these because when you're running quests that require A, they're going to drop B. When you run quests that require B, they're going to drop C. So what you're going to start to look for is the A to B to C. Now, my advice, especially as a busy gamer, ends up being spice variety is the spice of life. It's literally that. So you can sit here and say you want to run these 3 because they're the most efficient. I say run whatever 3 in whatever cycle that you want, because that's going to increase your joy tenfold. If you're not seeing the same 3 maps over and over, you're going to have more fun with the game, hands down. But when you're back at the shop, or we can just go here to this little shop area, main quests, subquests, advanced quests, you can start to see forest takes A, caves takes B, deserts takes C, and then there repeats. Underground shafts take A, B, C. You'll notice none of these take the D, E, and F. Those are all reserved for the super hard versions, and you can start to see more information on what is required and more. So kind of play around with that. So once you have your advanced capsules, you can actually run up here, and if you have your whole party with you, it's going to say that. You can say each member is going to pay for themselves separately. You can say the leader pays for everybody. You can say confirm, and then you can also say raising the threat level. This is going to basically say, hey, you're going to spend even more of your caps, but what this is going to do is it's just going to really throw so much more at you. It's going to overall increase more fun, in my opinion. I like raising the threat level, but obviously look at what you have in terms of your inventory. Do you have a lot of the caps? And I wouldn't recommend spending as money on them. You want to save that for other stuff as possible, but at the same time kind of play around with what makes the most sense for you and your fun level with advanced quests. So my final tips would say, once you're logging into the game, when you're looking for something to do, first focus in on your dailies. Take a look at these and see what you want to run, keeping that daily EXP boost up as maximum as possible. Get all of your buffs. Get your alliance buff if you're a part of alliance. Get all of your buffs and apply them to you at all the times. Once your daily is done, and if you're above level 40, jump into your subquest, focus in on your very hards, and just rotate your different zone as possible. Anytime an urgent quest pops up that you want, because that's not happening so often, go prioritize that. Finish the quest you're on, jump into the urgent, run those on repeat. You're going to find times in which that you're going to want to focus some urgent quests, maybe on very hard, just because you can run them over and over again. With that, I really hope that you're well equipped to tackle the content in this game and you get all the way to level cap. The level cap is going to increase with time and as they add patches, so just kind of play around with what works best for your schedule as well as playing with friends. Again, if you're looking for more people to play with, you can always check out our Discord. Link is in the description if you're looking to team up with anybody, as well as if you have any questions about this guide. If I missed anything, please let me know in the comments below. That way, check the comments to see if anybody has any more tips on any XP boosts, especially as the game evolves. If they add anything else, I want to make sure that we get that covered for you. Anyhow, for Ginger Prime, thanks for checking out this video. I wish you the best, and hopefully you have a great time with Phantasy Star Online 2. I love your faces. Thanks for being here, and I'll see you in my next video. Take care. Thanks for watching this video. I hope you enjoyed. This video is sponsored by me. If you guys like podcast and long-form content, I hope you check out Ginger Gaming Radio. Link will be in the description of this video below. So if you're still watching this video, thank you, and check out the new channel for more content, and hopefully you enjoy. Thank you.